It's not often, when you're at a place like this, you get a quad one opportunity in December. But that's a pretty damn good basketball team. They're going to win a lot of games. Obviously, have shown they can go in places like this and win. And so, thankful that our guys, stuck with our game plan and were able to come out with a win that I think will carry it for a while.
Considering the quad one aspect of it, and everything, was there added emphasis on things? I mean, because you also did the line change in the second half.
I mean, it's a I won't say must win. They're all must wins for me, right? But it was a game that, there's value there. A win is significant. I don't know if there'll be 7 at the end, but they're where they are for a reason, because they've earned it. They've played well. They've gone on the road and beat people. And coming to the game, they expected, I'm sure, to play well, and we had to play well to make sure that they didn't play their best. And I think our guys accepted the challenge.
Was that a little bit of that sense of urgency at the second half when you?
Yeah, I mean, there was always a sense of urgency, but I thought we got away from what got us the lead more so than anything. We only had 4 turnovers in the first half, and then we had 6 in the first 5 minutes of the second half. And part of it is you give them credit, because I've been on the other side. When we were at Stephen F., we played a style similarly that was just over-the-top physical. Everywhere you turn, there was a hand on you, a body on you, and probably fouled so much that the officials couldn't call them all. And, you frustrate a team like us who's used to being able to run their offense a little bit more flow and rhythm. But that gives them a chance. And so that's the way they wanted to try to muddy it up a little bit, because I'm sure they didn't think that they could just line up and just play straight up against this athlete for athlete. So the urgency is always there, but I just knew what the mindset was of that team. If you can go 3-0 in your games like this, as a team like that, you feel pretty doggone good about how your season can finish.
Talking about that physicality, I mean, Musa was up there rubbing some sore spots and all that stuff. For him to have the game he did in that with that physicality, what does that say about him?
Yeah, again, I've said it time and time. I mean, I think he's playing at I think he's playing at an All-American level. I really do. The impact that he's having on our defense, I mean, you just can't get good shots when he's in there. And he's not blocking 10 or 11 of them, but guys are going in there looking for him now and not necessarily taking shots that they normally would take. And then obviously the way he's rebounding the ball gives him a chance to really make a big difference as we move forward to playing against Big 12 teams. But in a game you win by 14, to be a plus 20 is significant when you don't score a lot of points.
This was their lowest scoring output of the season. 34% from the field, 28% from deep. What did you like from your defense tonight?
I've liked our defense pretty much every game we played. In all honesty, I think we have an elite level defense, top 10-ish maybe. I don't know what the numbers say at this point, but I think we'll be trending in that direction. And as we get more reps together, that'll be even more significant. But the connectivity was there. It started with us being able to kind of bottle up their guards and not get them great looks, and then just funneling those guys into the lane, and making them then have to decide whether they were going to take a bunch of threes, which obviously we defended those well as well.
BT had a couple of steals today, had a couple of deflections. How far has he come as a defender, and how much further can he go?
Light years. He's a different player from a defensive standpoint from the time we got him. I think I was trying to teach him how to spell the word when he first got here last year.
It's a lot of E's.
I think he thought it started with an O. But no, he's brought in. He's coachable. And I told him, for a guy who scores the ball well, who had been struggling from 3, I can't fathom how you could go 4 for 5 from 3 and end up with 6 threes taken in the game. I wasn't allowed to shoot 5 threes in the game, so that's why I didn't have that many opportunities. But if I had made 4, I would have at least gotten to 10. And then if we go 4 for 10, still a pretty good percentage. But that's the next area, just having them be comfortable shooting open threes, which will give him a better opportunity to then use what he's like most, right? Guys will have to close out on him, and then he can drive some. But his defense has come, night and day far.
They said that they didn't even know about the net ranking until you told them after the game. Do you like that? Do you want them to know what's going on? What are you feeling?
I'd like for them to be more aware. Because, well, it's twofold. I don't know if they know what it means, I mean, some of us probably still trying to figure out how you calculate it, right?
I just Googled it.
Yeah, but the truth is, it's relevant. It matters to what we're trying to accomplish as a team. And so I do want them to have some awareness that this isn't some team that's ranked in the 300s. This is a game that, if they continue to do well and as they turn into league play, maybe they'll drop into the 20s, but it'll still be a very significant win for us as we move forward.
We haven't talked to you since the UConn trip. What did you learn about the guys out there?
The Moose is really, really important to us.
Yeah.
I mean, again, talked about his defensive presence. I mean, he goes out of game, and I think Sanogo maybe scored like the next 10 points, and they were all right at the rim. And you give up 48 and a half, and then obviously he comes in, and I think he grabbed like the first 6 rebounds of the second half by himself. So it's probably the thing, because it was so obvious. I mean, he went out in the first minute and a half of the game, and the tide was pretty much turning at that point. But we fought, which gave me an opportunity to tell our guys if we could find a way. And it happened today. There's a 4 to 5 minute segment of every game that we kind of lose our minds, that if we can shore that up, we can take the next step to becoming a team that is nationally relevant.
It's hard whenever he gets those 2 fouls that early, but was there thought to put him in again when UConn was going on that
So
run?
the thought, it goes both ways. We kind of got to this last year, and I'm kicking myself here. Whenever he would get a foul like the first possession, we'd take him out of the game toward the end of last year, because then you get a few possessions without having to worry about it, and then the game loosens up a little bit. So there was that thought initially that we should have taken him out after the very first one, because he got him on back-to-back possessions. But then when you get 2 and they go on a 10-0 run, then you're thinking, should you put him back in? Well, you can't foul him out yourself, but you can't not have a chance to win the game. You want to be able to hold the line. There's a lot of, 20 minutes is a lot of time, So if we can get to the half and it was 17, hopefully maybe it's less than 10, then you give yourself a chance. But a lot of those thoughts go through my mind. But what do you think? Okay.
Twitter was saying put him back in, but
Twitter's a good coach.
They all know, right?
Is that something you gotta have a conversation with Musa about, the fouls, or
It's
conversation?
natural. And again, that's the reason I was kicking myself, is because I know the competitor he is, and obviously the talk of the matchup, right, between the two. So both fouls were kind of just, I won't say reckless, but they were both really unnecessary. He pushed him in the back on the first one. It was kind of one of those where you hope the officials say, hey, knock that off, and let the 2 big guys know that, you're watching them. And then the second one, can't defend him. He just grabbed the guy in transition. But he was just so amped for that matchup, knowing how well Sanogo had been playing. He was just probably overexcited. So we just talked about, hey, when that happens, because it'll happen again, there's good big guys as we move forward in our league. Just got to have fun, compete, but don't overdo it.
fouled a couple of 3-point shooters this year. Is it just coincidental, or is there something you guys are doing?
I need to watch the tape on that. I'm gonna have our video guy pull them all. I don't know, but it's happened, like at least once in the last 3 or 4 games for sure. So I got to figure out if there's something we're not teaching well enough. Certainly they're all good calls, I would imagine. So.
Tyreek shot a couple threes tonight too. Did you like what you saw from there with him?
Yeah, I mean, again, we talked about it before. I mean, you always have to be careful with your word choice when you're a coach. But I told them that there may be an opportunity because of the way they play. They really sink in, and the people haven't shown that they're going to respect him and KB out there right now. So I told him you may have to shoot 2 threes, and sure enough, there you go. He was going to shoot him, I guess, to make sure he knew I knew he heard me. But no, he works on it. He's confident in it, and it can add a different element if we can get him or KB to be respected out there, because that'll open up the floor for more drives and maybe more lob opportunities or post-ups for Musa.
Some teams have kind of been able to creep back in the second half after you called that timeout, like the first minute and a half out of the break. Did you kind of see the killer instinct down the stretch of them just being able to pull away late?
So we took all the starters out.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I like, because I didn't talk to him, I was kind of frustrated, because it was just careless. We were just being careless. But I walked past them and heard them talking to each other about playing better and taking ownership of their play. And, when they all got back in there, we were able to kind of settle things down and put ourselves in a great position.
You took a lot less shot attempts in the second half, but made just as many. Was that more grinding out longer possessions with plays, or finding better looks, or?
They kind of make you do that. You kind of got to slow down and get your screen set better and cut harder and get the ball, for sure from A to B, because they do deny and make it hard on you. So they kind of force you to slow down, which is kind of the point of that you either speed up, which is not the right thing, which is what we did to start the second half, or you slow down and really kind of be more deliberate about running your offense.
You able to get Woody some playing time? How nice was it to just A, have him back, and then B, get him out there?
Yeah, I feel bad. I kind of probably put him in a tough spot to throw him in there in that situation where the house is on fire a little bit. And I didn't send him in there probably equipped with the right fire extinguisher. Had Chris playing point with, it's just all of it. So, but it was good to at least get him on the court again. And I told him that. So hopefully we can all get better as we move forward, because obviously the next game is going to be a challenging one.